GDP ratio that stood at 55.6%. A stable credit rating of B-, a low budget deficit of 6.1%, a declining inflation rate that stood around 15%. We handed over to them a depreciation of currency that stood about 9.6%. Handed over to them a manufacturing sector that was very strong. We handed over to them 2 massive oil fields that they inherited. Handed over to them a cocoa sector that was thriving and was producing at over 960,000 metric tons a year. Handed over to them a number of significant buffers. And some of these buffers are the ESLA that we handed over to them. We handed over to them Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund, handed over to them a sinking fund, and all these were funds that any government taking office would be happy to inherit. Now, apart from this, we handed over to our friends the most monumental portfolio of investment that you can ever boast of in every sector, whether in the health sector, in the educational sector, in the energy sector, across the whole segment of all that we had in government. Many people would actually wish that they inherited such an economy. Our friends unfortunately took over and pretended this was an economy that was in chaos. Now, when you take over a country and you cannot even acknowledge what you take over, you lie about the quality of the economy that you had made, right from the word go, you are in difficulty. Now, so what I want to just close today to say is that our manifesto that we are presenting to you today, just as we have done in the past, is a manifesto that will be delivering to you promises and policies that we know are achievable. The things that we cannot do, we will not talk about. But what it is that we can do, we will elaborate today in order for the country to know the clear difference between the NDC and the NPP. The final thing I will say before I sit down is that no government is perfect, so we accept that mistakes can be made. But what you do when you are in government is to show the humility, which humility means that when you are charting a path and there is a problem, you should have the capacity to acknowledge it and be able to receive the feedback so that corrections can be made. The manifesto we are presenting today is by no means going to be a perfect manifesto. But one thing we can promise you is the humility of the leadership, the humility of John Mahama, the humility of the people who are going to work with him, to be able to say if there is a problem, we will be able to receive the necessary feedback and do the corrections in order to be able to deliver for the future. Unfortunately, we deal with people who, even when it is blatantly wrong, even when the vehicle is driving in the wrong direction, they are too proud, they are not humble enough, they are too arrogant to acknowledge it, and they continue driving in that same direction, refusing any feedback, refusing any constructive criticism. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to say more than this, but to simply establish to you that we are a party that makes every effort to establish every policy and every promise we make on sound principles. The principles of truth, the principles that our national anthem teaches us, that we need to cherish fearless honesty in all we do. It is only on the back of that honesty that we can truly have a nation that is truly great and strong. Thank you.